Daniel Antopolsky's the worst joke teller there ever was, and we're about to get one of a joke from Daniel Antopolsky if he tells us. Can we have a joke, please?
Jason would like for me to tell a joke, but I'm not a good joke teller. So the only joke I can think of at the moment, because I can never remember the punchlines. So it's about a young Jewish boy, just a teenager, but you know, he goes to one of the real religious schools. He's a very religious young man, and you know, they get married very young because they get married very young because they're not a part of the modern civilization that does everything and all test out all the waters before they get married. So they have to meet the right person and not to make fun of it. It's very nice sometimes the way they meet. You know, he'll meet a boy and a girl. Well, anyway, I can't tell the joke very good, so I'm trying to go change the subject. So the young man asked a boy that's married. He said, you know, the boy, he's about 18. It's about time to get married, 18 or 19. He asked an older friend that's married. He says, what do you tell a girl? How do you talk to a girl? He's not used to talking to girls because he studies all the time, and he's never around girls. He doesn't have any sisters. He's never been around, just some people, you've never been around young girls or girls, you know, much. He's got his mama, maybe an aunt or something like that. But he's always studying and praying, and he's a good fellow, So he asked the older boy, what do you say to a girl? I don't know what to say to girls. I have no idea, no experience. They tell me I'm supposed to think of getting married one of these days, so I don't have any idea. Well, I don't know what to say to girls, but maybe in a New York accent. I don't know what to say to a girl. You know what I mean? And of course, I don't have a New York accent. Anyway, so the guy says you have to talk, be comfortable with the girl. Be comfortable, be at ease, don't be nervous, rest, and calm. He said, well, what can I talk about? He says, well, you can talk about 3 things to every girl. You can talk about food, family, and philosophy. Food, family, and philosophy. So he says, okay, that's what I'll do. So they made some arrangements. He was supposed to meet a girl at a hotel, and then they were going to have a Coca-Cola, a glass of tea together across the table, and they would talk about maybe the plans of what they liked, what they had in common, what did they think of values and religion and all this kind of thing. And so they were talking, and he didn't know what to say. He's tongue-tied, and she's looking, and she's twiddling her thumbs like this. So she said, I think this boy doesn't, I'm nervous, but he's nervous. He doesn't know what to say. Finally, he thinks, what can I remember to say? I'll say, I can talk about food. So he finally says, in his New York accent, do you like potatoes? That's not it. And she says, no, I don't like potatoes, no. He shuts his mouth, he can't see. He comes to a dead end, he doesn't halt. He don't know what to say, he's all nervous. So he sits there, he doesn't look at her in the eyes, he's sitting like this, he don't know, he's rubbed his face, he says, what's the next thing? What can I say to this girl? Food, maybe family. I'll say family. So he says to see, family. There's a nice chicken. That's family. Take the shot. That's family right there.
Mm-hmm.
Family. He says family. I'll say. He says, well, do you have a brother? Do you have a brother? He says to the young girl. Oh no brother. No, that's all. I just don't have a brother. So that's it. So he says, I don't have a brother. So that's second. He doesn't know what to say. It's been there 45 minutes if he's asking 2 questions about food and about family. And finally he thinks, what can I say? Oh yeah, my older friend that's married, he said, we can speak about philosophy. I'll ask you a question about philosophy. Philosophy, what can I ask her? He said, well, the big hypothetical question, just if you had a brother, what is there in the punchline? If you had a brother, do you think he'd like potatoes? That's the end of the joke.
The worst joke teller.
If you had a brother, would he like potatoes?
The worst joke teller ever.
Is that it?
That's your punchline, yes.
If you had a brother, would he like potatoes? That joke gets me every time.
He's been telling that joke for years, and it's horrible every time. Thank you, Sheriff.
That's philosophy.
Worst joke teller ever.